What up, what up? Welcome back to the Sneaker History Podcast. Got my guys, Rohit and Robbie. Talk some Jordan releases, some Zion signature shoes, maybe some Monstars if we want to go down that path. Probably some cat talk just based on the pre-recording here that conversation we've been going on. So what's good, guys? How you guys doing?
Feeling all nibbly bibbly lack.
I'm feeling perfect.
Right.
Oh,
okay,
man.
so let me just say, so Nick brought it up. Is it just me or is Damian Lillard horrifying? This is the first take of the day episode. Okay. He's horrifying looking at that robot.
No. I'll see your Damian Lillard take, and I raise you Diana Taurasi.
She kind of looks like any, like, bad lady.
You know who she reminds me of? Him from the Powerpuff Girls, but without like she's got that hairstyle. But the snake thing always freaks me out. I mean, it's a staple of scaring young children. We saw it in Harry Potter. We saw it in the Jungle Book. You put a snake in there, some kid is going to be petrified for the rest of his life. So I'm sorry for that kid in advance. I'm just telling you, my dude, or my dudette, it's going to freak you out.
It's wild because like the original Space Jam stuff was like really cutesy. Now it's just like, nightmares.
They're called the Goon Squad.
Yeah. Anywho. How are you, Nick?
I'm good. It's been a busy day, but I'm excited to talk to you guys. I'm not so excited about some of these upcoming releases, but I'm sure. Usually, what happens is I do the not really for me, and then we talk about it, and then I'm like, yeah, that looks pretty good. I could probably work with that, So yeah, I'm excited to talk to you guys. Hopefully. Doesn't cost me anything, but
just a piece of your mind.
Just a piece of mind. Let's just jump right into it. What have you guys been rocking? What are you copping this week?
I'll go ahead and go first. I wore my LeBron Curials, the LeBron 10 lows that, in terms of Halo speak, they kind of look like Needlers because it was that plum with that Volt green. It's just a shoe that I beat up to the ground, and it's a good beater shoe. And for what I'm copping, I'm not sure yet. I think I just got access to Swoosh, so I'm hoping that space hippie colorway that I keep talking about, that finally comes to fruition, and hopefully it's under retail. Robbie, how about you?
Man, so I wore my Sarah Kuze's, and I actually named the shoes Sarah Kuze, like Sarah. I put some good creases in it. Like I wore them twice this weekend, and I got like some like a little bubbly in the front already. After this is literally like me just wearing them around the house, and
just
then
a couple wears, huh?
Yeah.
Damn.
This is 2. Wore them 2 days.
I don't know, man.
I planned on wearing them, so that doesn't bother me. But it's just like, Now that I look at it close, it is getting kind of bubbly. It's like not good lasagna, but they're still really cool though. Like they were comfortable, very fun wear. The kind of shoe where it's like any sneakerhead, I feel like in their 30s saw old heads with like every fucking dunk, and then you're just like, I don't have any of those, and then like you start getting some of these classic nostalgia, be true to your school, vintage, whatever you want to describe it with, and it really does make you feel like, I get it. I get why this shoe is popular. It's a fun wear. When it comes to copping, it's tough. I want to just put my entry in. So Reebok's doing this this giveaway. This contest is probably a more accurate way of stating it. This contest with that new motorsport shoe coming out, the one that looks like the Oakland Raider, or as Mike was saying about Rohit, the San Antonio Spurs.
Of course.
They're doing this like Reebok Customs event where if you get to like design your own copy of it, and if you win, they'll get you your own like motorcycle, like a little dirt bike. If you like, first place wins a dirt bike. That's of like your own custom. So I just got thinking to like the Supreme stuff they've been doing. There was the Supreme dirt bike. There's the Supreme Ski-Doo. So just like random, but it's also, is that the new wave for like not just shoe retailers, but like collabs? Like we're gonna start doing this like dirt bikes, I think it's tight. Like if I can get like my own design Reebok dirt bike and go do some jumps, that'd be sick. If I can get a Supreme Ski-Doo, I don't think I'd resell it. I think I'd use it.
I'd find reasons to. I mean, Oregon, historically, we have the grungy Willamette River, but I think we could class that up with a nice, tasteful Sea-Doo and maybe that Hirachi purple. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Nick, would you rock a Reebok Iverson dirt bike?
Yeah,
would you
of course. One? Yeah,
that'd be sick.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got my motorcycle license like years ago and then never bought a bike. So I'm kind of just like waiting for the right timing. So if I win a bike, of course.
Can you use a dirt bike on the major road if you have a license? Or is it still...
It depends on the bike itself. There's like variations that some are street legal and some are not. So
I'm not going to open that door. But
yeah,
I just thought it was really cool. I was like, there's a lot of giveaways. There's a lot of partnerships. But if I can get a freaking motorized vehicle out of it, go look at Reebok, check out their Instagram, go figure out how you can enter. I would do it. I told some friends, my man, is win this. We'll go out, like Rohit was saying. There's like sand dunes in Oregon. You can go hit all kinds of places.
Nick, when you win the motorcycle, can you do a shot-by-shot remake of Usher's Nice and Slow video where it's just you cruising around Paris? And then you're just lamenting about your lost love as she's been kidnapped by some goons, and then you spell your name out, ENGVAL.
Oh my God! Yes, I will definitely do that.
Thank you. I don't ask for much.
Oh man!
What are you trying to cop, Nick? What are you even rocking?
So rocking, I dug a little deep this week.
Ooh,
Saucony Cortana
Saucony
3. So you can see there, just an old running shoe. I think it's probably like 2013, 2012, something like that. But yeah, just you know,
doesn't that kind of look like
something different?
The tooling kind of look like what New Balance has been doing with like the new 992 or whatever, like the V, whatever. It looks very familiar.
Yeah. I mean, like the thing with like a lot of running shoes is like, you know, there's a lot of similarities across the brands, I think, but definitely a more comfortable pair of shoes for me. But as far as like copping, I'm trying to think like the last thing that I saw yesterday was that there's going to be a shattered backboard dunk low.
Oh
yes,
which that's definitely something I would happily take. So but I don't know. I mean, there's also a lot of other interesting stuff coming out. I think like there's like the multicolored New Balance 550 to me is pretty dope. Another Saucony had another like vegan shoe that's kind of dope. I forget what they called that one, but it's basically claim to fame is that it's made of, I think 6 or 7 materials in total, all of which are natural materials. So assuming they didn't use like any kind of toxic glues, then that shoe should be completely compostable, recyclable, whatever. Which, you know, we haven't seen too much of that. So I think that's super dope. I'd love to get a pair of those and check them out. But yeah, actually a lot of stuff that I would like to get my hands on right now, but hard to pick and choose.
That's super cool.
No, I mean, I'll put it this way. Ever since I've become a member of the show, I have been a bit more selective with my purchases because I think we hear the OGs talk about where the shoes that you have. And when you have as big of a collection as most of us do within this audience or this community, it is kind of a challenge to be like, okay, what can I do to wear these pair of shoes today? But yeah, every now and then there are little waves where they're like, okay, there's consecutive heat dropping, and not in the sneaker sense, but in the more attainable sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part about like thinking about buying stuff, right? Like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I think we would all be interested in, but like the frustration level on it is not worth the actual energy. I will say that John, who is in the Discord, hit us up on Twitter, and he grabbed the what's the bluish purplish Cosmic Unity colorway? I forget the name of it.
The amalgam.
Amalgam, yeah. Those things look awesome, and I liked them from the beginning, but seeing like real pictures from somebody that's not taking like, Nike site photos, even just like, he's not doing anything crazy or anything, just like a normal picture, so you can kind of understand what it actually looks like. That shoe looks really good. I would love to grab a pair of those if I can find one in my size, but yeah. No, I feel like we've been talking a lot of Cosmic Unity for the past couple of weeks.
The difficult thing is coming to the realization that just like so many pairs do release a month, and like what's realistic, 3 pairs a month? That's not so realistic when you take a look and you see that you have like a lot of pairs in the back already. So it's like, do I need 3 pairs a month every month for 12 months when I have X amount already back there? So yeah, it is interesting to see the selectiveness.
Yep. And to your point, I was at a local Dick's Sporting Goods and I saw the Space Hippie colorway of the Cosmic Unity, and that shoe is beautiful in hand. Like, there's a certain elegance about it when you're looking at the photos, and the photos in our Discord are fantastic, but I was taken back by how beautiful and how different it looks, because when you see it up against a shoe wall, against a Kyrie, against a KD, it sticks out in the best way imaginable. So I'm hoping more people continue to pick up on it, because I would love to see what the Cosmic Unity 2 looks like if we ever get that chance.
I would think that we would, at the kind of the rate that the interest seems to be there, right? And I'm assuming that they made a ton of those shoes, because Cosmic Unity is the one I think is still on Nike available. So
all 3 colorways last I checked.
Mike not being here, but we're also live now on Twitch in the midst of the finals game with Baylor. So Mike said he was tired from driving, but we know he's just watching the championship game.
For real.
No. I talked to Mike, and as big of a San Antonio Spurs fan as that guy is, he really is trying to be the best dad he can be. And with Mike, I'm sure he's going to do it. So he's actually in a Lamaze class. So if you see Mike, just give him a
right
for us, because you know what? Do your dad thing, Mike. We're proud of you.
Actually, that'd be a really useful class, I think, for all of us, just from like the amount of food, like you get good food baby in there. You're just like, can't roll over from this burrito.
Why is tummy time an under one activity only? I feel like a lot of it.
This is turning into Mace's breathe, stretch, shake. So I'm just gonna stop. We should all stop.
All right, so I'm gonna also circle back to basketball, but just a shout out Stanford women for winning the championship. I mean, ridiculous, right? Like, and a San Antonio tie-in. Kiana Williams is from San Antonio. They won in San Antonio. I mean, Mike, if that doesn't want to make you buy some Spurs sneakers, I don't know what does. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but yeah.
Do you think the long drive was him going to San Antonio, his favorite city in the world, to watch that game? And then the long drive back is just, it's more a psychological thing, because there is a certain spirit that breaks when you enter the gates of Houston, when you've been to a cultural hub like San Antonio. So
I actually really do like San Antonio. I mean, I lived in Austin for a few years. San Antonio is an underrated city, in my opinion.
Fair.
It's an underrated city. Now, I'm not speaking about the basketball team, but I guess we could even tie this in. Let's talk about this week in sneaker history and talk about some more Spurs information for our buddy Mike, who's not with us today. I'll actually let Rohit jump on this one, because we talked a little bit about before we started recording.
So the big fact that we found, because we were looking through the players' birthdays and there were a bunch of scrubs, quite frankly. So sorry, Nerlens Noel, your birthday is this week. I'm sure you'll get. Anyway, I digress. The big thing we found was today's date. Albert Spalding invests $800 to start sporting goods company named Spalding, which manufactures the first official baseball, tennis ball, basketball, golf ball, and football. So without a basketball, there's no sneakers. So I think Mr. Spalding should go in that upper echelon of Mount Rushmore indirect influencers right alongside Dr. James Naismith and whoever the originators of hip hop one may think it is. And yeah, I think it's great that we are using this opportunity because truly without a ball, there is no game. And without a game, there's no sneakers. And without sneakers, there's no podcast. Although I still think Nick would be riding around Paris wearing an eye patch and a motorcycle, saying his name out loud while once again he's looking for his lost love.
I can't even follow that up.
I know. What are we?
So poignant.
Like, this is like we need to go straight to commercial break or something with that one because that was too good. Oh man, but yeah. So on top of Spalding and essentially be like literally the only face on Mount Rushmore, really. Like if we don't have the ball, then no game. So for me, the other exciting thing that happened this week was in 1992, Michael Jordan played his first Major League Baseball game. Well, not Major League Baseball game. He was still in the minors, but played his first baseball game. Back
first T-ball game.
It's probably a safe bet that he was wearing the Jordan 9, but there's slight possibility. I'd have to look this up. There's a slight possibility he was actually wearing like generic Nike cleats at the time, like just like their average run-of-the-mill baseball cleats, because that would be in his first game would have been a tough task for them to turn around actual cleats for him in time for him to play. So
yeah, which I think so. LeBron every now and again is photographed warming up or practicing in like a generic ass shoe, and it's like I think it's cool though when like the top athletes like I'm just gonna wear this, I can get a shoe I can get at Dick's Sporting Good right now because I like it. So that'd be tight if MJ was wearing just some like run of the mill Big Five.
I mean, he definitely played in some kind of average cleats over the course of his baseball career. So I just can't remember off the top of my head what he wore in his debut. There's a lot of sneaker knowledge in my head, but at this age, not everything is accessible anymore. So
I just Googled Michael Jordan's first baseball game, and it does look like a pair of generic black cleats, but I may be mistaken. I'm sure there's some significance to it if somebody's there. But yeah, I would assume that 30 for 30 Space Jam, where the catcher's telling him like what pitch is coming. I remember in that movie, I think he was wearing some sort of Jordan hybrid cleat, but I don't know. That's a documentary, and maybe it's fake news. Who knows?
Honest question. Did he wear his UNC practice shorts underneath his baseball pants?
This is bugging me because I think you're right, Robbie. I think he didn't, and that's why he did not come across as successful on the diamond as he did on the hardwood.
I'm just thinking Space Jam, they make it a really big plot point to get those damn shorts and the Jordan 2s or the 9s.
That is interesting, yeah.
Like, yeah, grown men, you can't wear full pair. I guess back in the day, though, they were like short shorts, like a really big pair of boxers. So maybe...
I guess my question then is, who was the guardian of who was the guardian of those shorts? Wasn't it the Pitbull? And he named him Charles. And I'm wondering, is that an alpha move or like how does Charles Barkley really feel about that? Because the way I look at it in the future, when we get the sequel in July, is LeBron going to have a parakeet that he nicknames the Truth because that's a Paul Pierce or Paul the Parakeet? I don't know. But like I enjoyed that bit of trolling because what we were talking about prior to the recording was moments in cinematic history where we just see a goof on camera. At this point, it was the stormtrooper that bonked his head. And I wonder if that was Jordan's way of saying, you know what, I'm going to name this bulldog Charles, because by all intents and purposes, I don't think Jordan ever owned a dog, did he?
I don't think, but you brought it up and I didn't want to bring it up ever because the man was living, let the man live. But I was just talking to Lower East Scribe, aka Terrence,
what up?
About that Paul Pierce stuff. And it's like I went from liking Paul Pierce 0% as somebody who beat my Lakers in the finals and then played for the Clippers. I can't stand Paul Pierce. So it's like that. He went from 0% like to 15. He's up 15%. Paul Pierce in my book, just because that dude was living. And it's like, if you're gonna get fired for it, sure. I mean, I totally get it. People have been fired, I think, for less at ESPN, but like, damn, Paul, like you stupid as hell. Like putting that live, but you were living, and I respect it. Up 15%.
Here's the thing. He is the hottest free agent in all of sports journalism right now. And if I'm Fox, let's just dump give him the blank checkbook and let him host that show where it's literally a poker tournament every week with strippers. Because at this point, embrace it and do it like sportscasters after dark.
Paul, though, up from 0 to 15% based off of some ignorant actions that it look like. I'm just jealous I can't go do that. I'm mad at him. I didn't want to bring it up, but Rohit kind of brought the name up. So I was like, all right, I gotta let
this is why I am here. Your conscience is clean, Robbie.
Yeah. I mean, I think like if he's up 15%, just purely based on being a Laker fan, he started way in the negatives. This isn't just a 0 to 15%. This is like a huge jump.
Yeah. I mean, he's done some funny stuff on ESPN. So he went from like -10 to 0. And then now he's up the full 15.
I'll put it this way. We're doing a live show right now, and we've got a bit of an audience. And Kicks with V is somebody we all love and respect. Not a fan of Paul Pierce, and I ride with Kicks with V, so I kicks P to the curb like ESPN did.
15% is the same shooting percentage as when he played with the Clippers, so it's all right.
Oh man! All right. Let's get back a little bit on track.
Reel it in.
Reel it in. Sorry.
We what do we got? Do we have a review?
I didn't see one on Apple because I think the most recent one was one you guys read a couple episodes ago. I did read the 3-star review, and I think that's why I'm a little fired up today, because I want to make sure that person, Surge B something or the other, gets a laugh on his run, because he said we were kind of boring. So you know what? I'm a calmer, gentler bro. I'm not attacking the people that leave us reviews. So I hope you're entertained.
Heal, Cinnamon, heal.
Oh man, it is kind of crazy though. Like, I don't know. Reviews are a very interesting thing to me. I don't want to get too far into that.
We do have
rabbit hole.
From reviews to previews.
Oh,
great transition.
Big ups yourself.
All right, let's see. How are we gonna do this? Actually, you know what? Since we're live streaming, I can just throw this up here and show you guys what we're looking at while we look at it.
Ooh.
I just got to let's start with the honorable mention that's not on this list. The University Blue Jordan 4 coming out April 28th. I guess it's a little premature to make it on this spring list, but that 4
is a good looking shoe.
It's the move, man.
It is the move.
That's all I had. It's the move.
It's the move. It's a beautiful blue, and it might be the best shoe we talk about. And it's a shame it's not in the press release that we're going to go through, because it's one of those rare colorways where I tend to be a snob and I'm like, I'll just cop OG colorways, because at this point, what we talked about earlier, just have too many shoes in the closet, so to speak. But that is something that was done in a beautiful way. And I really hope that shoe gets its proper flowers, as the kids may say.
When does that one release again?
28th of April. So on top of that, I mean, I'm going to keep throwing wrenches all over this episode. We didn't even once bring up, I think, in the past month or so, the fact that the Raging Bull 5 is coming back. By the time this episode releases, it would be the weekend coming. That's fucking mind-blowing. I'm not going to buy it just because priorities this month, like air conditioning or Jordan. I'm going with the air conditioning. So I'm still amazed. I think I'll be able to buy that shoe for like $40 over retail 4 months from now, and I'll be able to get it and not trip on it. But that shoe was at one point probably one of the most sought after Jordan retros, like, end of statement, not counting the high-end bin stuff or the Dornbecker stuff, but you're talking just like coveted retros of the past. That thing held its weight for a long time. It was a workhorse.
As a bull. I mean, I love the imagery there.
Yep.
It's amazing. I would buy it right now, but are you guys gonna have any interest in that? I think it's amazing it's coming back.
I will give you my sneakers entry because of how passionate you just told me about this shoe. But do you think that it's going to do not as well that you might be able to get it for 40 off or 40 over retail? Because I would just imagine the mythology and the hype behind the shoe. Like, this is going to be another one that just skyrockets to like a 500, 600 price point and then never budges from that.
No. I mean, there's been very few. I want to say the Black Cat 4 and the Cool Gray 4 are the only like 2006 to 2010 re-release of a non-OG Jordan colorway. Fuck, that's a quantified statement. Right? Like, how many particulars can we put in there? Like, those are the only two that have really like kept or exceeded what I thought they were going to do on the resale market. Like, for the most part, though, people are selling out. And you can't even get an Air Structure right now. It's unrelated to Jordans, but like, people are buying up all the Air Structures to make $10. All these Jordan retros, people are buying them up to make $30, $40. So I don't think the Raging Bull has quite to the new kids. I don't know. Maybe are the kids over red suede shoes? I know the last all red Jordan 5s didn't do that hot. And if you're a new kid and you didn't know the Raging Bull existed in the first place, you're probably seeing the same shoe. Like, I don't know. That'd be, we need to just have a young, anybody have a cousin? We can just have as a, have a cousin or something who's like 14 on the podcast and just be like, here's perspective from a 14-year-old. So I'm curious.
Kids Corner, where we just draft somebody.
Be careful with that. But
it's spelled with 2 Ks or 2 Cs.
I think that I don't know. Like, I'm kind of in a weird spot with this one because I never really liked like all red shoes. Like, I wasn't into this first one when I tried to get the pack when they first came out, and I thought like, oh, I could trade the red pair for something else. Like, I would love to have the fire red 5s with the 23, the black tongues with the 23 on the side again. But it is really weird, all the stuff that's selling out. And I mean, we kind of talked about it. Like, if you're in the Discord, we kind of talked about it on the Zoom call over the weekend with everyone. But the weirdest part about the Zoom structured triax, those shoes sat at outlets for like $30 for a long time, like to the point where I didn't even buy them because I thought, oh, they'll always be here for $30. Like, they were there for like months. And the other weird part about them selling out this time around is that I think it was Travis in the Discord that was saying that the quality on them was just not that great this time around either. So I don't get it. I don't know. Like, I mean, I hope, obviously, Robbie, like, you get the are they calling them the Toros this time, or are they
Toro Bravos?
Yeah, I don't know if they have the nickname this time around, but
I don't know. But I mean, but Nick, you can acknowledge, even though that wasn't your kind of kick.
Oh, it was super dope. Yeah,
all
like,
over the place. Like,
everybody
wanted that shoe.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
like that was like a South Beach LeBron 8 moment, like with that Jordan 5. Like,
yeah.
So Nick, would you get the Toro Rosso Jordan 5s if they ever made such a thing? Because I know you're a big Gasly and Sonoda fan.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Honestly, like, Jordan 5s are a weird shoe for me because I don't like any of the non-original colorways. Like, most of the Jordans, and we'll get into some of them on this episode, like, I just only really liked the way they looked when Michael was wearing them on court. Like, I guess like sort of the was it the olive undefeated ones are pretty good. I think I had those for a while. But like, generally speaking, like, I only like the way 5s look with shorts, with the socks, like, the whole 9 with
head.
It. Yeah, like the wristband,
the mustache. I'm kidding.
Sometimes I dream. Yeah, it's to your point. I remember being a young kid and picking up the Sam Smith book, The Jordan Rules, and to your point, the Jordan 5 looked like the coolest thing in the world because MJ was backing down an imaginary defender on that. But lo and behold, when you hold a pair of 5s, at least for me, it kind of comes across tacky. And I will admit, because this is a safe space and I have shared a lot with you guys over the past couple of years, the one sneaker I bought purely on hype and I severely regret is the Neymar 5s because it looked cool in those photos. But then when you actually get it, I'm like, this looks like a kid's arts and craft project. Like I couldn't handle it. So I kind of share your sentiment in that regard, Nick.
I'm not saying anything because I couldn't disagree with you two more.
Say it, Robbie. Say it.
So you're with Kicks with V and Mario Restores in the chat where basically saying all red shoes all the time.
No, I mean I don't even care about the all red shoe. Just the Jordan 5 as a whole. I love the Jordan 5.
Gotcha.
I love it on Sunday. I love it on Monday. I love it.
Talk us through. I need to be converted because I know the 5 has its staunch and passionate defenders. I just could never get into it. So what about it, Robbie, for you, like makes it a great shoe?
I think it is the most fun Jordan moment because he wasn't the champion yet, but he was just like the dude who could do everything. But now he was 5 years into it. And it's just the photos, man. Like the black laces, they just look so tough. And he was so tough. It's just like, it's like Batman in the Batmobile, you know? It's just like the fighter jets. It's like he has fucking planes on his feet and he's going to jump around you, through you, over you. But they're hard to wear with like, I don't like wearing them with shorts. Nick's right to that point, but I'll wear them with like jeans. I don't wear jeans, but like with pants on the court. They're just, I don't know. The tongue does it for me. It reminds me of a crown, like this big reflective crown on my feet. It's a vibe. So
you are king of the vibes. So I agree. You know what? Thank you for sharing with that. I kind of have a second thought on it now, but not really.
The Neymar 5 was horrible because it had all that 3M on there, and it looked like somebody just like wallpapered that print on it.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I agree.
There's a lot of regret with that.
Anywho, these ones Nick has had on the screen for a hot minute. What's up?
Yeah, let's go back. Let's go back to the show outline.
Let's, where are we at here? I'm a mess.
It's okay. We will help you out. We are looking at the
white and purple.
There we go.
Yes.
White and purple Jordan 1 women's, much like the OG. So this is like if the OG metallic purple had a baby with like the 2010 metallics. I don't think they were all metallic, but it's like the white and single color Jordan 1 mids from 2010.
I mean, and this is like an original colorway, right? So
yeah, it is. I don't get why it has to be women's. Like, I feel like this is just like an arbitrary, let's put a women's stamp on it just to like let them have something.
No, it's a very good looking shoe. And yeah, selfishly, I wish it was meant for a man as well as a woman, but
bet you $1 million it comes up to women's 18.
Oh, that it does say it's on the extended sizes. So I think maybe that's the backdoor way to get these shoes.
It's interesting. I mean, I think that shoe is dope. I don't think I would buy it at this point. Like, I like it, but even if it was available in my size, I don't know that I would actually pull the trigger on it partially because I would just want all the other metallics, which would just be expensive.
Okay. Now I just figured, what better way to pair your Tyrese Halliburton jersey with a nice Jordan 1?
Every time I hear Halliburton, I'm just like, bro, change your last name. Like, that's not a good sports last name.
Oh, it's a fantastic one. Like the mental image could be anything. It could be a smart point guard for the Sacramento Kings. It could be a middle reliever for the Sacramento Trash Pandas. Is that the logo on your hat?
Not Sacramento, but yeah, Rocket City Trash Pandas. Shout out to Dalton for not forcing me. That was a little harsh, but inspiring me to buy this hat on one of our Zoom calls a few weeks back.
That's yeah. Now we're talking though. So is this just the citrus again? Like
I believe.
Yeah, so
it's back.
Women's citrus low GS sizing in 2015. This women's exclusive model features the OG patent leather midsole, textile upper, translucent bright citrus outsole, Also new an OG carbon fiber plate. This is the first time it's been included in the women's version. So I mean, this is a beautiful shoe, but why did it take so long for the women to get full technology in their Jordan 11? But yeah.
Well, because Jennifer Lopez once said, "Love don't cost a thing, but carbon fiber does cost a thing." So at some point, they were just like, "We're not gonna even try to put this in this shoe. We're just gonna we got to sell it at what, $40 lower than the men's shoe. So that's got to be $40 in savings somewhere." But this is like one of my favorite Jordan 11s, high or low. I love the citrus. That's such a good looking shoe.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful.
I'm waiting for it to come out in men's sizing in 2030 at this rate. So I'm hoping we get a nice pair of citrus laces as well to just tie the whole shoe together.
All right, now we got what is this one? Bright crimson, rust pink.
Rust pink. I think this is
pink.
probably the best shoe out of all this, the ones that we'll talk about during this preview, just because it's a colorway I haven't seen before in the 3, and kind of being a bit of a hypocrite. As much as I dislike the 5, I really love the 3, and it's one of those shoes that I will try to break my OG rule only for if the colorway is nice, and this is a nice colorway for me.
Yeah,
I'm never gonna wear these.
Oh, really? I thought for sure you would be into this.
Yeah, I same.
Those are for those are for you guys and the ladies. Not in a negative way. Just they don't speak to me.
Yeah, I think they look super dope.
I think you would have murdered a couple of fits with that, Robbie.
You know, a boy can do what a boy can do, but I don't know. I'm not at all a traditionalist with the Jordan 3, but those don't. Yeah.
Now, see, that's the weird thing. Like with the Jordan 3, I'm totally more open to non-original colorways for some reason. And I think historically speaking, and just for me as a fan, the Jordan 3 is a much more important shoe. So I should be more anti-new colorways, I think, in theory. But I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't even have a reason why. Like, it's the eye test in the NBA, right? It's just like, does it pass the eye test? And sometimes, no, it doesn't.
All right.
And that's okay.
So up next, we have another Jordan 1.
Yep.
The Mike Special.
Oh, yes. The Mad Watcher ones.
They're dope, but just there's other ones on this list. I'd much rather have the white and purples than these.
Yeah, me too. I think they look good, but they also just look like give me the shadows.
I don't mind these. I would rock these to commemorate the birth of Mike's future child. So
what else we got? What's next here?
I'm not seeing it with this one. To borrow your phraseology there, Robbie, it just doesn't pass the eye test for me personally, but I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this one.
I absolutely love it. It's just whether or not I need it, because I have the turbo greens from 2019, and I wear those things. Those things are nice. That's a really, really nice retro. These are just so similar.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't know if I can justify it to myself, but they definitely passed the eye test. Like, that's a very good looking pair of shoes.
Definitely, I agree. I think maybe with Jordan 1s, I'm starting to like lean more towards darker colorways too, because all the newer stuff that's like light colors, like I look at it and think, damn, that's a beautiful shoe. Would I actually wear it though? I'd rather throw on court purples, royals, like any number of other like darker based colorway with Jordan 1s.
See, I mean, that's, in my opinion, the beauty of the Jordan 1. You can literally do anything to it. Like, I like it light. Normally, I would not say I like it with, I almost want to go shoot up and get the turbo greens. But like, normally I wouldn't like this kind of 90s distressed look. But God, it works, man. I mean, like, you can go OG, you can go dark, you can go patina, apparently. But these are just, I think this is going to be a motif they start exploring a lot more. Like, don't be surprised if you start seeing like a cayenne red where it's like soft blue like that, or oranges, violets. Now you got green, you got baby blue like this. It's I think it's going to keep being a thing.
Okay.
For sure.
Did you so I want to say, let me see here. I'm going to just throw this in here real quick so we can show. But I think these came with the darker blue laces too. Did you swap the laces or no?
Came with aqua, like the same color, turbo green, I should probably say. It came with turbo green laces, the purple that matches the swoosh on the tongue tag, and white. I believe I put one white and then one green, one turbo green. I really enjoy putting two different lace colors in Jordan 1s. Like, over half of my pairs probably have mismatched laces.
All right, that's something I didn't know. So that's a gem for later. I could see that coming in handy in a trivia night someday.
Oh, trivia night, you don't say. And
no,
shout out
to that shit in trivia night, man, because like I wouldn't even know that. I mean, straight up, if I was asked, Robbie, how many pairs of Jordan 1s do you have with half the laces being different? I'd be like, a quarter. It'd probably be a different answer, but half, all of them. It could be all of them. I don't know, but most, definitely most. These would for sure be a split lace.
Yes.
This one for sure. One pink, one white, or fuchsia, whatever it's called. Fuchsia, right? These are the sport fuchsia. Or...
Yeah,
fuchsia is more purplish for some reason. But then again, what do I know about colors?
Is this? I was pulling the strings. Is this really called the fuchsia?
Let's find out.
Yeah. No, pardon me. Light fusion. I knew it was fuse something.
Oh yeah, light fusion laser orange.
Yeah. So that's yellow and pink, first of all.
Yeah.
Fusion red. Oh, you got like arc reactors and stuff now. Like, I just don't get.
Yeah, Iron Man, Space Ghost, a lot of different pop culture vibes that I remember from our talk with Mr. Unloved Ones. So
yep.
Yeah, I mean, these are interesting shoes. I think out of all the ones that we've seen thus far, these are the ones that speak to me personally the most. But I don't know. I think, like all Jordan 1s, this one will sell out before I even have a thought on whether I want to buy this or not. So good on you, bots.
Yep.
Oh, I'm buying for sure. I mean, like, isn't it kind of rare to see? Like, I've never seen this mixture of colors I almost want to say on a Jordan.
I don't think we have.
Yeah, definitely not.
That's why I'm interested. Like, oh, this is something new. It's going on 30-something years old, but it's new.
Yeah, Mario. That's a good point Mario made in the comments. Triple up the laces like the old LA Gears, because that colorway actually looks like something you would see on an LA Gear shoe back in the day too. That bright combo.
Yes,
I could totally see those laces. Like, yeah, that would be dope. All right, so this is Jordan 4. We're not going to call it a white cement because it's not completely the right combination of white cement, but
it's not.
I don't know.
It's just a little too white for me. I just want some splash of color there, and I wouldn't even mind if it was any color, but I don't know. Something about this just doesn't captivate me the way 4s sometimes do.
Yep, same for me.
Okay. In their current state, I 100% agree. But imagine having some kind of like graphic designer or a doodler, somebody who's good at making little tight drawings, just like go ham on these uppers. Just like do anything, really. Tight circles, little creatures. I just think something kind of like reminiscent of street art or pattern would look really cool with this shoe. You have the concrete. I think concrete's better to say than cement, right?
Yeah, it's that same.
Let's call it
same
concrete
theme.
today. I think you have to do something to these. This is for, like, I'm gonna make a Satan shoe with these. I'm gonna put a little bit of blood,
sir,
up in that air ball or in the air bubble.
Come on. I listened to that episode last week. No.
So are you suggesting that Nike would make a shoe for customizers? Maybe.
I am.
That should be their plan. Like, give kids paints with these and let them go nuts.
I mean, they did it with the Why Not, the first Why Not shoe, the first Russell Westbrook shoe, was a white plain canvas, and it came with black Sharpie, blue, red, and green.
Mm-hmm.
And go do what the hell you want on it. Like, this would be so cool to have a Jordan little Sharpie come with it. Or like Mario Restores over here, do something fucking crazy with it. You can do, this is a great blank slate. You could do some fun things with this.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think it's just interesting that they basically did like a very similar colorway. So this has like a reddish orange Jumpman on the tongue, right? And it's so close to the Ama Manye collab on the 3 that's coming out. It's just odd to me that they have such similar color palettes on these shoes. I mean, I think they both look beautiful. I don't think like I would end up getting either. I mean, I don't think I would actually have a chance to get either of them, but I don't think I would buy either of them unless I was going to have Mario customize something.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Shameless plug for one of our community members, Mario Restores. He would go ham on these. So I'm going to refer to these as the Mario Force because I expect Mario to drop gems with this sort of blank silhouette.
All right. This one just pisses me off. Is it a Brazil or is it the Oregon 6 without the Oregon logo?
It's a Brazilian exchange student visiting the University of Oregon.
This is the Brazilian replica kit that you get from a favela as opposed to the Nike store where it's kind of got that banana-ish color, but this is more of a unripened banana.
Yeah, this is a, I mean, don't get me wrong, black 6 with one accent color like this looks great, but I'm also like, I don't know, I'm just not into it.
Is this a Volt? Like, are we officially volted out? Is this the moment where the Volt has jumped the shark?
I think this is a electric green.
Ah.
So it's Volt. Yeah, so it's Volt, but not Volt. So,
I mean, like Nick said, you kind of can't go wrong with infrared blocking on a Jordan 6. But how this is spring, I don't see it.
I mean, they got to throw some colors in there that aren't so light, right? I think that's like, this is like the like appease the people that only want black shoe for the summer. Maybe I don't know.
Are black shoes a summer thing? Because I would figure like you'd want light and airy, similar to the Citrus 11 that we talked about, or the blank white Force.
No, I'm saying like, you know, most people wear white shoes throughout the summer. You know, more people wear white shoes throughout the summer, but I'm saying this was like, well, we did all these light colored shoes. Let's throw in a black pair just to keep the other people happy.
And Kicks would be bringing me the context. This is nighttime wear for the clubs. And thank you for that, Kicks with V, because I know once I did the faux pas of matching a red t-shirt with red shoes, and they would not let me into the club because they said I was gang affiliated, to which one of my co-conspirators for the night said, really, what gang do you think would endorse this 180-pound soaking wet Indian kid? So we laughed about that, but secretly I cried. But thank you for the context, Kicks with V.
You're obviously a sleeper agent. Duh.
Yep. Westside Bumblebees.
Oh man.
All right. Sorry.
All right. So technically this is a retro of a retro, right?
Yes.
I can't remember when this colorway came out. 2006?
Sounds about right.
Let's just scroll down here and see. Yeah, 2006. I think this shoe is beautiful. As a Kings fan, as a fan of the color purple, both the color and the movie, I could totally rock this shoe. But I'm just not excited about it. Like, I don't know. Normally, I would say 15 years is a good amount of time to leave a shoe on the shelf and not bring it back. But maybe I need another 5 years before I want this one.
Do you need more purple on this?
I mean, I think it would be awesome if there was a little bit more purple on this. But, you know, like, even just like on the midsole, right? Like if you threw in purple there, right? But I think this is kind of what happens with this is totally a little rant about to happen. What I think happens with Nike colorists or with color designers at Nike is that they create something that has a certain feel, a certain vibe, and then they realize like, okay, well maybe we should go a little bit safer with it. So purple is obviously the one color on this shoe that is going to keep people from being interested. If you leave purple off the shoe, you're going to be able to sell more units in theory, right? And not just actually selling a product, but selling up the chain within a corporate setting, because generally speaking, people buy white, black, white, gray, white, navy blue more than almost every other color of shoe. But what I think happens, and this kind of happened on another Jordan 7 and another Jordan 6 recently, where the accent colors stay like higher up on the ankles for the most part. So the shoe generally looks like a, just a monochromatic shoe. And that accent color is very low key, very hidden. So like if people are wearing it with pants or whatever, they're not going to see the purple as much. I think it's a selling tactic to actually color the shoes this way. It's basically what I'm getting at.
Like
but I have no knowledge that that's truth. I just am making total assumptions there.
Like the Cool Gray 3 with orange peel and chili pepper. You're going to have very little chili pepper and very little orange peel, but you're going to have a lot of gray, because that gray is what's going to, sell. So that's a very astute observation. This is a great Jordan, though. Like the Flint, I think, doesn't ever get enough. It kind of gets lost in the weeds of Jordan retros.
Yep.
But I would say it's top 10 sevens ever, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Great shoe.
Yeah, I agree. All right. I already know Robbie's fully committed to this shoe.
I can't even tell what color it is. I'm not gonna lie to you. Is that like like sea foam?
Oh, it's just white.
Oh,
It's Columbia's, right?
I thought there was
Legend
a
blue.
Is that icy? Is the outsole kind of greenish to you too, or is it just me?
No, I can see what you're referring to, Robbie. Like it's a very light mint green. Like I'm sure I've brushed my teeth with a toothpaste that color at some point in my life.
That's the prettiest part of the shoe.
It's a very good looking shoe, but I'm just worried I'm be too much of a klutz and a fumbling mess, because I know I would dirty that before I even went to the cashier.
I think Nick was being facetious, because I would never fucking wear the Columbia. Like the Columbia is like my least favorite Jordan ever. So it's just
so I don't think that the mint hue on that outsole is actually intended, right? Like I think it's meant to be like the original Columbia's, or I guess they're calling it Legend Blue, so it's meant to be like the
All-Star 96s.
Yes.
Yeah. 1,000 flushes mint green. Yeah.
No, but I mean, like, it's gonna look good for a year. Then that's gonna turn yellow. It's gonna discolor. It's gonna crease weird. Like, if this is gonna sit, if you're gonna have Michael Jordan or Tinker Hatfield sign a pair of Jordans, have them sign these. Don't wear them ever. Put them in a case.
That's a good call.
As is 4 out of 5 dentists recommend sneaker history for all your sneaker podcasting needs.
Exactly. All right. Well, we're getting close to the end here, so let's throw another one at you. This is I think this one just came out over Easter weekend, but so this is supposed to be an icy blue outsole, right? This one normally would have an icy blue outsole if it was original, which they're saying that it's arriving with classic OG materials, but not. Oh, it says classic OG materials. The shoe comes with an iced out clear rubber outsole and carbon fiber plate. Okay. I don't know.
How many? So, as somebody who's written much sneaker copy in my life, we have to think of another word than iced out when it comes to translucent outsoles, because I've used that term at least 2 trillion times personally. So I'm throwing myself into this criticism.
Okay.
But it's just always so funny. It's like icy, iced out, yeah, outsoles, translucent every time. these are just not for me. These are super cool. These are somebody. If you're a church goer, these are Sunday church Jordans.
Praise the Lord. 12s.
I mean, they were released on Easter weekend, right? So
yep, arriving in time for Easter.
Yep.
Yeah. Those are flyboy 12s. I think you're a flyboy. You got those 12s.
So we got this one, and then we're gonna wrap with a wild card after.
The Kmart's.
Yeah. Jason Kidd, Kenyon Martin.
No, Kevin Martin.
No, he didn't wear these, right?
Kevin Martin, when he played for the Houston Rockets, wore something just like that.
I think Jason Kidd wore the originals just like this too, but it had his name across the tongue. And
no, I think that's another one.
Kenyon Martin wore a pair. Let's see. Let me see what I can find.
Good thing it's your screen being monitored, not mine, for your search history.
Oh man. Okay, I could be wrong. Let's see.
I'm just trying to picture. I can see Kevin Martin wearing these shoes, but
you're right. You're right.
There's a dependable J post. It's official.
Kevin Martin.
Yeah. What I said Kevin Martin, right? Yeah, I said Kevin Martin.
Yes, you did. Yep.
If dependable J has a photo of it,
it's Kevin Martin.
It is Kevin Martin. Houston Rockets.
Yeah.
He is the end all be all.
You're right. Yep. All right. I was off on that one.
So switching the focus back to the shoe, what do you think of this, Nick?
I mean, I think it's beautiful, but I try to put everything Kevin Martin post Sacramento era out of my mind.
I understand.
So in that sense, like, I don't want to like it. I do think it's a good looking shoe, but I also am one of those people that now that we've seen, Carmines and, the DQM, or not even DQM, the Bacon Air Max 90s with all these like kind of funky misprints and just poor quality. I'm definitely not interested in a Jordan 13 with red on the upper, because like these shoes are notorious for always having like,
we got a bleeder.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
About Mary.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I love it. I mean, I'm not going to buy them just because 13s historically have not been. I will say though, the Hyper Royal pair I got in the fall, I've worn those a couple times, and those have pretty much changed my mind about 13s. But just in the grand scheme of Jordans that are both either gray, white and gray and red, I just have so many other shoes that already fit that that peg I'm looking for. It's even a worse way of putting it. Like when you got like the desk and you got the leg and the hole. It's already been filled. So I just don't need another shoe in this colorway. But if you haven't been collecting shoes for a long time and you don't have a 13, or you don't have a 13 in this color, fantastic choice.
And maybe that's what Nike and Jordan Brand are doing. They're realizing that the sneaker market and the sneaker demand is so high that they're just throwing these entry-level collectors shoes there. So that way people can appreciate the actual OG colorways once they get their hands on an OG 13 colorway.
What's going to be most dope is somebody who is 15 now, and when they are 25, they see a picture of this shoe and they go, "Oh, I had those. Like, those were hella tight."
Yep.
And has like a positive memory with it. Like, those have to keep happening for people. So it's like, that's when I think these new colorways are. It's not a new colorway, but when colorways that maybe you wouldn't want to put your own dollar in, it's going to make some kid happy, and he's going to have a nostalgic moment at some point. And life is Gucci.
Yep. All right. So speaking of life being Gucci, how do you feel about Zion Williamson's? Is Zion feeling Gucci if this is the Z code that we've been hearing about?
Let me be a buck with you. It looks like the Dame. What Dame is it? Oh my God!
I think it's 6.
It might be. It's a couple Dames. It's a couple Dames. It's a couple Team Jordans. I mean, it's what you would expect for any athlete not named Michael Jordan wearing a Michael Jordan shoe, right? I mean, it's cool, but that's
But
it.
the curse lives on. I think I'll be the bad guy that says it. Jordan Brand is where sneakership deals sometimes go to die because they've historically proven to us that they can't make a star out of any endorser that's not named Jordan. And I would think you have this prospect that is probably as close to a sure thing as possible because of his game, because of his lifestyle, because of the hype around him, because he's actually matching the hype. And to me, this is a step back in a sense because it seems very basic in a sense. And I don't know how to quantify this other than saying like, if this was his shoe that was for the grade school kids only, I think that's a great shoe for a grade school Zion. But he's a grown ass man with a grown ass game. And I don't know, just something about that shoe feels a little off.
Nick, thank you for finding that Dame shoe because it is like
very
right. It's very similar.
The Dame 2, very similar. There was even colorways. I was trying to find the colorways because they colored the outsole like this one, where it's all multicolored, right? Like, so they would do like camo purple, camo reds on a lot of those releases. So one of the things that so aside from it looking like other shoes on the market, I think that it's interesting. I don't think that it's up to like what we would expect from Jordan Brand. But I will say that I like the Zion logo on the heel.
Yeah, if you read that sideways, it looks like a bad word. I'm just noticing that.
It also kind of reminds me of the old Chris Webber logo.
Yeah.
Just vaguely. I don't know. I like the vibe of it. I mean, I like the ZW on the tongue. I think like the colorway of this colorway is pretty solid if it didn't look like other shoes on the market. But
it's,
man, I just don't. Yeah,
it's forgettable. I mean, like it's cool, but close your eye. Okay, not us. Ask somebody to describe to you what the flyway looks like. Ask somebody to describe to you what like the first three any Chris Paul shoe looks like. Like I want to say literally the only standout, like memorable Jordan model from a signature standpoint was the second Russell Westbrook shoe. Why not two? I still wear that shoe. That shoe's freaking awesome. No other shoe looks like that from any brand. And I know the designer, so like that's why I'm probably so happy with it. Like,
sure.
Shout outs to Jay. You did a great job. But like that is the only signature Jordan model where it's like banger.
I don't know. Maybe they had to design within a brief, so they had some restrictions. I just think they could have done a little bit more. And kind of thinking about it a little bit, it kind of gives me that Steve Buscemi's "Hello, fellow kids. This is what I think a '90s inspired sneaker would look like."
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I don't know.
They dropped the ball. I'll say it. Like, you have this once in a lifetime prospect. Like, we haven't seen a charismatic force like this since what? Shaq, Kobe, Vince Carter in his first year, and this is the shoe for better or for worse.
So
okay. I've been going back and listening to some of our original podcasts, right? We're at 207 or 208 episodes. And I went back and listened to like the first 5 or 10 this week, trying as I was working, because I was trying to kind of feel out how far we've come. One of the first things that we talked about in the early episodes was the whole Zion situation at Duke. And if he would sign with Jordan Brand or Nike. And then on top of that, how he would sell shoes. And I think Zion is an incredible player. I think he's absolutely potentially the face of the NBA if the NBA chooses to adopt him.
Right.
If he gets shoes that sell well. But I also still think that his off-court personality doesn't live up to the likes of a Jordan, a Russell Westbrook.
Sure.
Even James Harden, like these guys have like stuff that draws people into them off the court. This is also like why I think most people don't like Paul George, because he's so quiet, for the most part. He's, he's reserved, but he's also like kind of transparent about his own struggles, which is not something that Americans are used to. Same thing would be said about Kawhi. I think that Kawhi is easily one of the best basketball players we will ever see, but I don't think that his personality will align with that. To Robbie's point about, Paul Pierce, right? Like part of the craziness that comes with these guys off the court is what makes them appealing in a lot of ways. So my thought is that maybe Zion just actually wanted this shoe to look like this, and maybe that aligns with his vibe. I don't know that that's true. It's hard to, especially considering we just talked about the Greater Than series from Nike Basketball. It's hard for me to look at this shoe and get excited about it when those shoes are exciting. I know Robbie doesn't agree with that, but like the technology aspect of those shoes is like, okay, finally, like let's make everybody great at basketball again, the way we assumed that the marketing, taught us in the 90s, 2000s, where it was like even the team shoes were incredible shoes. Now we're at this point where like even the signature model shoe of the potentially the best player in the league for the next 10 years is So, I think there's tons of potential for the colors, but I think that it just doesn't stand out enough to be a Zion Williams signature shoe. Sure. Like this feels like a LeBron ambassador style shoe compared to an actual like signature model, right? Like a takedown signature model to me.
So I think it's a real missed opportunity to not use the kind of look and tooling of what they're doing with the MA2. Like, I bet you $1 million if you were to go listen to that episode Nick's talking about, at least one of us said to give them Air Max. At least one of us said that. So you put that kind of new modern twist on Air Max that Jordan's already doing. You make that performance based. You have the lifestyle version, the MA2 rolled out a month earlier, like they're doing now. Get a little traction behind it. It's doing well. Then you hit him with the Zion. Then you got something going on like the Air Revolution and the Air Max 1, So you have like the lifestyle and you got the cutting edge performance basketball. So it's like it's just, is it a missed opportunity? Yeah. Is it also a victim of a lot of factors? Like, this is a kid in New Orleans' first basketball shoe. We want to spend X amount of money on this. Which, to flip on that, do you want to short sale or put limits on what could potentially be the face of the NBA, like Nick was saying? Like, no, I think that's really dumb. I say you whip it out, and if it's the best thing in the world, it's the best thing in the world. If it's not, you make a second one and hopefully kill it on the second. This feels way too calculated. It's just like, all right, we need something that tests well, looks youthful, but end of the day, very, very traditional performance basketball shoe in 2021. Very boring, and it sucks. He's not boring.
No, but I mean, this is what I am. I guess I'll be a broken record in a sense, right? This shoe is what a 45-year-old thinks the kids are into. So there's one point. Second point is this. We had the episode with Pete Crato about From Hang Time to Prime Time, a book which kind of charted the whole course of the history of how the NBA became the NBA. There's a chapter on sneakers. There's a chapter about how the mythology of the Jordan 1 introduced us to Michael Jordan, and then several commercials amplified that. So for me, maybe I'm biased because I've just read this book. I'm used to the sneakers kind of serving as a hype man for the athlete. And I think we've kind of moved away from that in the mid parts of the aughts to the teens, because knock on wood, Nike Basketball had these legendary salesmen that for once didn't require the shoes to speak for them, because you had the Kobe's, you had the LeBrons, you had the KDs, which in a sense is a holy trinity, because any shoe that you design for them is going to be in the back seat compared to the athlete that they are representing. New players, to me, get a fresh slate where the shoe can do the talking for them until they become that person or they become on that level. And this is that opportunity that I talk about. Like, you could do so many things in New Orleans: jambalaya, gumbo, jazz. All these things have hints of improvisation, have hints of collaboration. And that's what makes Zion so fun to watch, because he's coming up with ways to defy how we are used to watching basketball being played by a player of his size, of his skill set. And then the collaboration perspective of it is the fact that he is probably the best in-game finisher we have right now in terms of finishing oops or finishing and one. So to me, there's a lot of stuff you can do. It's just they haven't done it.
Agreed. Well said. I think my only point I would definitely add in Cafe Du Monde as another, otherwise,
powdered sugar. Powdered sugar. He doesn't mind powdered sugar.
Yeah,
it's
interesting.
Jambalaya and gumbo, aren't they the same thing? Just one with rice and one isn't on rice?
I don't know. We will talk to our senior New Orleans correspondents that I'm sure are in our Discord will educate me on the nuances between the two cultural dishes.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting that I'm hopeful that there's more to this, right? Like, the fact that you're calling it the Z code makes me think that there's still a potential, Jordan Zion shoe, but I guess that's probably just being optimistic. Anyway, I think we got our answer from Kicks with V. We'll have to get the full details of that in the Discord, though. But I guess I would toss that, Zion shoe out to our listeners and say, what's up with this shoe? Like, what do you think about it? Is this, to Rohit's point, a 45-year-old telling, teenage kids what they like, or is it
what they think a kid might like? And with that, I will be forever off Jordan seedless.
Yeah, or is this something that Zion is actually, pushing for behind the scenes? Because obviously he's been there for a while, had the time to get involved with the design team and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. I definitely think there's a lot of people, at least in the comments that I saw, that are expecting more and hoping for more. So, but anyway, that about wraps it up. You can follow me at Sneaker History. You can follow the guys. Let them know how to find you. I guess you can follow me at Nick Engvall. More importantly, at Sneaker History. I'm just too hungry, so it's all just melting together right now, like
it's
gumbo.
All Sneaker History.
Just follow Sneaker History. Sneaker History has links to all four of us, and it's not just on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube. I know our missing fourth horseman, Mike, is on YouTube at Mad Watcher, and I always forget the number, but
789.
789. It's as simple as that. And Robbie, where can they find you on all social medias?
Sneaker History.
Sneaker History. Fair enough. And you can find me on Sneaker History.
Right on. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Goodbye.